Yeah, so we've been working with Lego for a really long time now. We kind of knew the existence of these Marvel sets before they kind of got released to the public and everything, and we saw some early concepts. Marvel were like, okay, we know that what you've already done, what you're planning, what your kind of catalogue is up to this point, but we get what a Marvel game is, and we get why that will be different to what you've done in the past. So yeah, we're totally on board with it. So on paper, you sit there and go, hang on, can this actually happen? Can we actually work on these titles?
To be fair, we didn't think that we'd be working on some of the brands we've worked on. But the great thing is, if it's a great brand and a great opportunity to make a fabulous game, Warner are happy to let us do it. I think it's somewhat easier with Marvel because Marvel have been making movies and video games for a long time. There's a couple of great games that Marvel games that I've played. Hulk Ultimate Destruction was a really good game. The early Neversoft Spider-Man games, they were good games. So for us, we've got these benchmark titles that are just like really good, but we're trying to marry all of those together. Everyone that's on it, I don't think one person said they didn't want to work on Marvel, which is cool and rare. And we sat there thinking, well, do we make a video game of the Avengers? And as a designer, you're trying to analyse what you want to make, what you think people are going to want to play. But obviously, you've got the X-Men, you've got Spider-Man. You can't make a game and not include Spider-Man. We've got the Marvel Universe. You've got to have Spider-Man. You've got to have a Green Goblin. Whoever it may be. Myself and the other designers, we wanted to go full on and basically pick that turkey to the bone. Let's explore everything we possibly can. It's not going to be playing Avengers for a bit, playing Spider-Man for a bit. It's a meld of all of them together in the story, which is it's really exciting. It's
a challenge because we're sat there going, right, we're doing the whole of Marvel, so there's an awful lot of characters that we need to make feel special.
Yeah, Marvel's got over 7,000 characters. There's just huge numbers, and we've had to just look through it. I've been on the internet just trying to see, right, what are the fan favourite heroes, what are the fan favourite villains, what are mine, what are the other designers' favourites, and whittling it down to what we consider to be the best, the best of the best, with some curveballs thrown in for good measure. People that, characters that people will be like, I wonder if so-and-so's in there. No way. And just, so we've got some great hidden extras. We have a cast of villains in the story that easily matches the number of hero characters that the player's going to play. So, you're looking at sort of 18 of each that are going to just be appearing in the story. Along the way, we're trying to make sure that the player's expectations are always going to be met. Is Spider-Man going to meet his arch nemesis along the way? Is Wolverine? Who's Hulk going to meet? Yeah, we've got this grand story, but within that, we're also doing justice to the characters from the brand, And then aside from the story side of things, there's a whole cast of other Marvel characters. They don't kind of fit with certain things. So what we're doing there is we're also pairing them up with characters that they would be known to associate with in little side missions and side quests. The cast is, it's the best cast I've worked on in any video game.
So with the music side, we're actually looking at doing some kind of original pieces, but very much inspired within the Marvel world. That gives us a bit more flexibility, because when we're sat there and going, right, we're mixing all of these Marvel characters together, what might necessarily work for an Iron Man set piece might not work if Iron Man's there with the Hulk and with Spider-Man. So we get to do something that's new and original. So we're looking at doing some new music that kind of covers that side of things.
Myself and the other designers, we've watched every movie, every cartoon, every comic book's been read, and we've just been absorbing like massive sponges.
With Lego Marvel, we get to do our own story, which is fantastic. It's something that we've done a couple of other titles, and it really means that we get to do things different and be able to make something that people won't expect.
Ultimately, Galactus is coming to eat the Earth. We've got Loki, who is the overriding bad guy. He's actually imprisoned, so he has to use his powers to kind of assemble a cast of villains, under the direction of one of the bigger villains, to carry out his master plan. And his master plan is he wants to go back to Asgard. He wants to take what he sees as his rightful throne. So that's kind of the overriding story of it. But in amongst all that, New York is going to get dusted. There's some serious things that are going to happen.
So yeah, there will be sections where you get something massive will happen in a location. You can go back there and then you can sort of rebuild those sections, and also reveals new items and things.
We're creating New York. It's a characterised New York. Clearly, we can't replicate New York. What we're then doing is allowing people to sort of, as they explore New York, they can go into some of the cool locations from the Marvel universe that they expect to be in New York.
You're going to have things like Stark Tower's going to be there, so elements that were in the Marvel world, but also key landmarks. So, for example, things like Times Square, Statue of Liberty, they all make what makes New York feel like New York.
We're going to have a lot of sort of events that happen that we haven't been able to do before. It's going to be cool just as you're exploring around, and then one of these villains just suddenly rocks up, and it's just like, just tries to interfere with you, and just really up the ante. Make sure New York is, you know, yeah, the city that never sleeps, but it's also going to be ram-packed with villains and activity.
So the city itself is actually going to have sections where you can go to a location that might not necessarily be story related, it's totally free play, but go into an interior section and go, well, hang on, I can actually get in this building.
Every Lego game we make, we have to take like, you know, 10, 11 steps forward for people to see or perceive that we've taken 1 or 2 steps forward. For Lego Marvel, one of the first things was, we've got Hulk. And it's like, yeah, because then we can also have the Thing. The minute we sort of like scratched the surface, there was like 7, 8, 9 characters that fit the bill for these big fig characters. Brilliant, tick, we've got something cool. And then obviously we've also looked at various other aspects to try and make sure that we've got, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 new exciting things that we haven't done before in a video game within the Lego brand.
We make these games for people who want to play them. We know that there's going to be people that are coming back and saying, oh, it's just another Lego title. For us, it's like, okay, if you feel that way, that's unfortunate. Maybe you should give it a try. See how we're kind of pushing things differently, how we're going to have these open worlds, how we're going to have new mechanics, new abilities, bigger and better scaled, pushing the engine to kind of make it feel different all the time.
For Lego Marvel, we're trying to make the ultimate Marvel video game.
So someone who's may not necessarily be a Lego game fan, but is a Marvel fan, we want to appeal to them as well. We want them to come in and go, ah, yeah, this is great because I get to fly around as Iron Man and get to do cool things because I'm an Iron Man fan.
What we want to do is just try and make sure that we just do justice to the brand, because it's a fabulous brand and it's a really good marriage